Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt, and welcome back to Farlands or Busts. We are greeted by the Wolf of Wolfie, the Wolf of Wolfie, the Woof of Wolfie, and some instant piano music we have going on here. I don't quite remember that many times where you've just load up the game and then suddenly the music starts playing, but I guess it's a timed event. Wolfie agrees. It is neither the morning song or the evening song. It is the wake up and get the game going song. Wake up and walk to the Farland song. Get rid of some of your inventory, grab a boat, and well, maybe I don't need a boat just yet because we're going this way. But yeah, let's keep walking towards the Farlands. As I said, give an update for our Child's Play charity fundraiser over at farlandsorbust.com. We are at 11,000. Ooh, I need some arrows, but I know there's a creeper up here as well. Easy, easy. Oh god, there's multiple creepers. Gotta go! They were guarding the skeleton residue. Ooh, this guy's quick. I don't think so, guy. I will dive off of this peninsula, and you will forget about me. Alright, so, like I was mentioning, this season, Season 4 of Farlands or Bust, right now we are at $11,743 for Child's Play charity. Over at farlandsorbust.com, you can donate using the chip-in widget. I'm also very, very pleased and thankful to report that a portion of this recent surge, since the last episode, is in response to Schism. Our good friend Schism from the KGBs. You might remember I mentioned he wrote a children's book called Meet Charlie, about the process of him meeting Charlie and getting his dog Charlie. A very cool children's book, available on the Apple Store, available for your iPads and your iPods and your iPhones and your eyeballs. He has donated, as he said, a portion of the proceeds from the sales of that children's book to Child's Play charity through Farlands or Bust, and that recently came through. I can confirm that Schism is a man of his word. Hi. Say goodbye to your wool. He is a man of his word, and that's a great thing. And if you haven't, go check out, I will put a link in the video description, if I remember. If not, go check out Schism's channel, his Let's Play series and stuff. One of the things, I guess I should mention, holy crap on a cracker. Let's go this way, Wolfie. Woo! That was, hey, alright, yeah, we're just walking away from that situation. That was almost disaster. But yeah, Schism recently joined Generic Bees server, Hermitcraft, along with Pungence, aka the Assyrian Assassin, and our friend Justra. So they're all doing a bunch of multiplayer-y stuff over there. In addition to, they originally met on the Mindcrack fan server. They still do stuff there, so go check out all those channels. And also, like I said, meet Charlie if you're looking for something, and of course another way to support Child's Play charity through Farlands or Bust. Indeed. Indeed, Wolfie, right? Guess not. I knew that was gonna happen. I just knew it. Alright, ooh, skeletons. Or no, those are zombies, not skeletons. Whoop, and spoilers. Now, if we could get skeletons, we'd have the trifecta. The hat trick. No. Indeed. Alright, so, continuing on. We are walking and boating, traveling to the Farlands. We are on episode 208, Farlands or Bust. It was episode 11 that we started, so I don't have anything special planned, but we'll just have to make note on episode 211 that then it has officially been 200 episodes that we've been walking. We've been traveling to the aforementioned Farlands. So I guess you guys like hearing when I see movies and things like that, talk about stuff like that, but I saw a very different kind of movie than, say, the James Bond movies I've been mentioning before, or what was the other one? You know, Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. I saw The Impossible, which is kind of not in that wide of release, but it's got Ewan McGregor and I'm forgetting the actress's name. I forgot her name. I apologize, but The Impossible is a story following a family through the 2004 tsunami in Thailand. It definitely a different mood of film than, say, your Skyfall or your Lord of the Rings. Very, very dramatic, very emotionally intense, very graphic as well. It's got a PG-13, and I would recommend it. Let me just start off by saying I would recommend it. One of these very intense true stories. It really, as opposed to most disaster movies, they tend to give you an overview, an outside perspective of a tragedy, whether or not it be a fake disaster movie or, a true-to-life thing. This one very much focuses on the perspective of this small 5-person family. So you really don't get much of, obviously, for those of us who are around, I'll watch the news and saw the YouTube videos and the tragedy and the coverage from that. But this is very much from the very, despite it being a global tragedy and event, it's a very almost claustrophobic feel to it because you end up, there goes those shears. There they go. Well done. We should be all right on wool for a while. Oh, that's something I needed. I need some wooden planks. But yeah, it's a very almost claustrophobic feeling that they're able to get across. These people who are vacationing, and obviously they got hit by the tsunami, and injuries, and trying to get the family back together, as obviously they get swept away and completely separated and everything. I won't give any spoilers, I guess, but I would recommend it. Bring your handkerchief, however. It's very emotionally intense, and also I read the reviews and I expected it, but I didn't expect it. Very realistic depictions of injuries, which is fine and dandy. It gives you the certainly the impression of realism and stuff, but if that's something that you might not be exactly prone to, not necessarily enjoying, but handling, maybe not the movie for you. Definitely not really for the younger members of the audience, I suppose I should say. But it's one of those films that definitely kicks you in the gut and makes you wonder how you would handle such a situation. And I honestly have no idea. I hope I never get to find out. But yeah, that was The Impossible. Ewan McGregor and I've totally blanked on the actress's name. She's up for a Golden Globe, though, for her portrayal of the mom in the family. So, recommended, but you definitely have to be in the mood for that type of movie. Woof indeed, but to more lighthearted things, I guess I should say, more enjoyable topics of discussion. Oh, those are transparent clouds. They're a different color blue than the sky. I am using texture pack. I get this, excuse me, just had lunch. I am using a texture pack, and it is a custom texture pack made by a Farlander, a fan. I've just been using it. I did dabble a few episodes, say 100 odd episodes ago, with different texture packs. Wasn't ever quite impressed with any. And then I kind of liked some things from one texture pack and other things from another. Like, I did like the fact, this is part of the texture pack, is these very... Oh god, that scared me. Yeah, I'm like, what is that? What is that thing? He just ran out from, like, behind the tree. Hey guy, how's it going? You kind of frightened me. I wasn't quite sure what to make of you. I'm not going to feed you a bone, but there, have a bone. Say hello to Wolfie, and we will see you later. Well, we won't, but enjoy your island. Enjoy it indeed. What was I talking about? I totally forgot. I started talking about something and then I totally forgot. Talked about the movie. Nope. Nope. Totally forgot. Oh well. No, Wolfie. No. Careful. Okay. Well. Boop. And a boop. Woof. I'll start answering questions in the next episode, perhaps. In the next episode, in the next day, the next morning. Once we get one more darkness level. There we go. Let's go to sleep. And awakeness. Hey. Hide and seek. Wow, I totally blanked out. I was like starting to talk about something prior to being a little bit startled by that dog on the island, and now I've forgotten. Hope it wasn't anything too important. Squids. Let's answer a question from... Oh no, the texture pack! Yeah, I was talking about the trees that are all these different colors. That's part of it. Also, if you see any red blocks, that's clay. A little bit more of an accurate color of clay. Obviously, the fact that Wolfie has a blue collar and is wearing 3D glasses is part of the texture pack. Obviously, you just saw the bed. It says flob on the bed sheets. Little things like that. There is a link in the video description where our friend who made this texture pack for us has a link where you can get it for yourself, but also he has, as far as I know, been updating it for more recent, so you could use it with more recent installations of Minecraft. Obviously, in this version, there aren't a bunch of things that are in the new versions of the game that don't have textures, like the end and end stone and things like that, so link in the doobly-doo if you'd like to download this texture pack. Also, that is why the sword is a much brighter blue, the diamond sword of spawn pointiness. It's not enchanted or anything, it's just the texture pack has made it a slightly more vibrant diamond blue. But yeah, anyway, now that we've come full circle and reminded ourselves what we were talking about, let's answer a question from Halo 4master. Kurt, how did you get onto the Mindcrack server? That is kind of a similar story to everybody else. That was last year. It was after, basically... Oh, I should have found... There's an episode where, like, really early on episode of Far Lands or Bust. It's got to be in the 20s or 30s as far as episode numbers go. But it was about that time, and Etho actually answered a question like this recently in his Let's Play, where he asked how he got on the Mindcrack server and got to playing with BOO and Good and people like that. I actually... Who was I subscribed? I might have been subscribed to Etho, and then he started playing that first competitive... No, it was probably Ko, actually, because Ko and Avidia played against BOO and Good in the first Race for Wool map. I think? Yeah. So I was subscribed to Ko, and then I found BOO and Good through that, and I just started watching them, and from just watching their perspectives of that map, I found them to be hilarious. Hilarious indeed. And then I went back and then started watching their Legendary series from that, and once again, even more hilarity ensued from that, so I gave a shout out to both Good and BOO way back in the day, and even back then, I think I probably had maybe 20,000 subscribers, 25,000 subscribers, and they maybe had 15,000 or something like that, and I said, these two fellas here, see? Listen close, see? These two fellas are going to be big on the YouTubes. And, well, let's do that. Let's not make a half slab, and let's make that second bed that we need. I said, these guys are going to be big, they're hilarious. Go check them out, go subscribe. And as usual, whenever you give a shout out on the YouTubes... Oh, standing on a boat. Whenever you give a shout out on the YouTubes, your fans end up going over there and say, hey, Kurt sent me, KurtJMac sent me. And then that is how they, BOO and Good, heard about me. And then I had them on a because of the first Far Lands or Bust live stream. This was 2011, the end of 2011, when we reached $8,200 at the end of Season 2 of Far Lands or Bust. I had them both as guests on the live stream, and that was actually the first time I'd actually talked to them in person. For just a little bit. It was an 8-hour, 20-minute, well, 12-hour, 20-minute live stream, I guess. I just had them on for a little bit, not having really talked to them or known them or that much. It was kind of, you know, they were just on as kind of guests. I'm like, hey, I really enjoy your stuff. Come on the live stream. That'd be great. And then, you know, back and forth chat, stuff like that, but not much in terms of playing much with each other or anything like that on Minecraft or anything. So it was past the new year, and I just happened to get a random message from Good asking if... it was about after that they reset the map, the Mindcrack map, and then they invited Good, or not Good, they invited BOO on. That's when BOO joined the server. And then then they also invited Etho, because once again, that's how Etho found them, through the Race for Wool, and then they ended up doing 4-man teams, and Etho joined that against them. Same with Doc and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, after that, I just gotten a message from Good. He's like, hey, I've been meaning to ask, did you want to join the Mindcrack server? And to be honest, I actually kind of hesitated for a little bit. Obviously, the beginning of 2011, I really wasn't still planning on doing this YouTube thing as a full-time thing. I was still actually searching for a job. I knew even at that point that I didn't do much co-op stuff. I didn't belong to any servers. I didn't do much server stuff. I was kind of like, let me think about it for a little bit. I'm just not sure how well that's going to fit in with my personality and playstyle and my videos. I'm not sure what I'm going to be able to do. But he said, well, we'd still like to have you on and, you know, give it a shot or whatever. So sure enough, that's how I joined the Mindcrack server. Woof. And I know I can't say I've been the greatest member of that server. I'm not on as frequently as I would certainly hope I would, trying to change such things as these. But yeah, I was on the Mindcrack server. Really, the first time I really joined those guys and started playing was for the first Ultra Hardcore, Season 3 of Ultra Hardcore, the first competitive Ultra Hardcore PvP. And it was, you know, one of those weird situations. I think, not that it really matters, but just to show how much has changed since even the first Ultra Hardcore. That was back in March. Yeah, that was pretty soon after I joined. That was March 2012. I think at the time I was either the second or the third largest channel on at least playing Ultra Hardcore, behind Etho and Doc, I believe. I could be wrong on that. But that was, you know, just to give kind of a perspective as to how much has changed for the better in regards to the first Ultra Hardcore season. So yeah, that was actually probably my first real interaction, quote unquote, with them. So yeah, the rest is history, really. But yeah, that is how I ended up on the Mindcrack server. I did not ask to join the Mindcrack server. People do not apply. You do not. Rule number 1 and rule number 2 is you do not talk about how to join the Mindcrack server. You are invited, and yeah, that's how I joined the Mindcrack server. So thanks for that question. I know I've probably told that before and stuff like that, but it's always cool to show how growth happens and things like that. And of course, I do have to thank the Mindcrack Ultra Hardcore series for quite the explosion of growth on my channel. The explosion of growths. Just an infestation of growths. I need to get some sort of ointment for. No, but you know, obviously, especially it was obviously helpful that I ended up going to the end there with Good on that series, and the whole drama that happened with Pause and Beef. Total mental. You could not script that sort of stuff, but ooh, this is a strange. Oh, careful, careful, careful! Take it easy, Jumpy. Hi-yo. And then I end up jumping. cool little area. We're like on a shelf here, and there's stuff underneath us. A shelf! But yeah, I do have to thank the ultra-hardcore thing, and it's a great, obviously with the server, we end up helping each other out, the more co-op stuff we do. Subs tend to bleed off onto each other, so it's, I'm very thankful. I don't know that I would be able to be where I am right now without the help of those guys, and obviously Good and BOO for making the first, I guess, contact to invite me to the server and things, so I'm indeed, they make sure to let everybody know, hey, careful, that it's not like where I or anybody is indebted to them or anything like that. They make sure to make that a known thing. Samples. But it's a good thing indeed for myself and the YouTubes, and now I know a lot of you people were saying, oh, I'm myself, KurtJMac, was some of your first exposure to the Mindcrack thing, and now you guys, some of you have messaged me saying, oh, now I'm subscribed to all the other Mindcrack guys, and thanks for introducing me. I never really might not have found them if it wasn't for the fact that I first found you through Farlands or Bust or whatever, etc. Indeed, and whatnot. But yeah, let's go to sleep, and we will answer some more questions. Right, Wolfie? Guess not. And the Mindcrack serverness. Boop. Let's roll. Woof. And I guess I can, if we're gonna, we're getting a little bit more self-referential about the YouTubes and Let's Plays and things right now, but something that Good mentioned at Minecon when we had the panel, when we had the panel and we were introducing ourselves, or actually Good introduced us. Oh, this is BOO, this is Blame the Controller, this is Doc, this is Pause, blah, 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 and then we'd each get our little round of applause. There was a healthy round of applause when my name was mentioned, and it was quite surprising. I still can't quite understand it, but Good came up with the explanation that it seems like perhaps at my own fault that I'm not particularly as active on the Mindcrack server as I should be. It's that a lot of fans to my channel are fans to my channel and not necessarily Mindcrack as a whole. Like I said, perhaps that's my own doing. But that's I can see that. I'm not. I'm trying to think of how to word this correctly. I'm not against doing a lot of multiplayer stuff with those guys. I'd like to do more and more and more. It's just, as always, schedules are very difficult to sync up, and finding common interests in terms of different video games to play, if it is anything other than Minecraft or on the Mindcrack server. I mean, obviously you saw we played Ace of Spades for a little bit. That was, it's cool to try out new games and stuff like that for a little bit, even if like that or Chivalry. If I am available, I'll do my best to try to join those guys for that. But YouTube, indeed. A question from JMac. Hey there. Stop trying to steal my identity. JMac 12121212 asked, do you put anything into your coffee like milk or sugar, or do you enjoy it black like a boss? I tend to put sugar. I have reduced the amount of sugar in my coffee. I used to put like a heaping tablespoon per cup, but I'm now down to maybe like a teaspoon or something, a half a tablespoon at the most. It's kind of a cool little like valley area between these two mountains. What is that? Oh, it's a chicken. I'm like swimming in there. Just sugar. I know I shouldn't, because coffee purists tend to want it black, because then you're just getting the pure tastes from the coffee, and if you drink high enough quality coffee, then you really don't need to add anything. So no, I no milk for sure, absolutely. Maybe if I'm traveling and I have to resort to having hotel coffee, just for the sake of my own sanity, I will put some milk or creamer in it, just to make it turns it into a little bit more of a chocolate milk instead of a coffee for me. But yeah, with bad coffee like that, you tend to have to add stuff. But the good coffee, the stuff I make at home. Oh, I guess another story that happened to me. For those of you who follow me on Twitter, you know I've talked about how I got a Chemex based on the referral from Zisto, another coffee aficionado, I guess you could call. Got a Chemex brewer, which is a glass brewer with a little funnel on top, and you put the paper filter on the top, and it's a pour over, blah, 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 blah. Had that a little bit over a month, I suppose, but broke it while washing it. It's not like, I mean, it's obviously it's fragile, it's very thin glass, but it's mostly the problem comes into play when you're washing it. It's a little bit hard to handle. It's just its size and its weird shape makes it hard to get a good grip on it, and it slipped. Tried to recover it, but it dinged the side of my sink and got a big chip out the side. So I was enjoying the Chemex, but I'm back to the French press now. I've only once. Why are you burning, dude? You're in the darkness. The darkness. I've only once broken the glass from my French press, which you don't have to buy a whole new French press. You just replace the glass jar. But I've had that over 3-4 years or something like that now. But the Chemex is dead. I did enjoy using the Chemex. It's a little bit more high maintenance of a method to create coffee. To brew coffee, I guess you could say, to create coffee. I am spawning it out of the ether. What was I going to say? It's actually a little bit better for you because it actually goes through the paper filter. And that paper filter takes out a lot of the oils and the cholesterol from the coffee that with a French press, because there's no paper filter, it's just the metal screen that takes out the grounds. You get the full force of the oils found in the coffee beans, and it's higher in cholesterol because of that. And that's why a French press generally yields you a stronger cup, more, stronger both in flavor and in coffee intensity. So I'm back to the French press, but I'd like to see about maybe getting a replacement Chemex. There's also these other type of not glass, they're like ceramic. I forgot what they're called. There's another specific name for them. Little funnel pour over attachment thingies I might want to try. It's actually, I was running out of Chemex filters, so it's a good thing I didn't order a whole brand new box of 100 filters and then have the thing break. So it's okay. I'm still all right with the coffee. So all right, Wolfie just wants to spawn, I suppose. Yep, there he is. But yeah, speaking of coffee, that happened. That's a story. Oh well. And that's weird. You see on Amazon and places a lot of people giving, like, the reviewers giving, like, bad reviews because, oh, it's so fragile, and, oh, I just dinged it on the side and the whole thing shattered. It's like, well, it's glass. You shouldn't be really reviewing it based on the fact that you might be a little bit clumsy. Maybe it's not the method for you then. Or you ever look at Amazon reviews and people, like, give bad reviews because the shipment was late? It's like, no, these reviews, you're supposed to be reviewing the product, not the service you got from Amazon. You'll want to bring that up with Amazon if you're having problems. Internet. How am I doing for coal? Got a bunch of coal. We can ignore that and make progress. Spelunk. Oh. Watch where you're walking, Kurt. Woof. It's a weird moo. Let me see if I have another question I could quickly answer. This is another one of those self-referential ones, I guess, but Charles asked, What's your daily schedule? When do you get up? How many hours do you spend in front of the screen playing games? Editing videos and stuff like that. I think I've answered this before, so I'll be brief. And it's something I'm still wanting to work on, is getting a little bit more of a schedule down. New Year's resolutions. You know how bad I am at those, but I get up, I tend to either make breakfast and coffee, enjoy that, and then get ready and take a shower and stuff, and then get on with my day, or I'll take the shower first. That tends to be I should start doing that more often. I tend to be a little bit more productive that way, because I get up, take my shower, get dressed into my proper daytime attire, and then I'm actually, before, then I eat breakfast, then I'm already up. I'm in the mode to get stuff done. So I do that. Perhaps in the morning I spend too much time catching up on videos and blogs and things that I may have missed overnight. So maybe that's something I should remove from my repertoire, and instead I should just, bam, get right to work on my own stuff. Yeah, but then I record, like this episode of Far Lands or Bust, I'm recording, it's wrapping up the episode, but it's 2 p.m. on Friday. I am hopefully going to be able to then turn around and edit and render and upload, and it should be up. This is Friday. It should, if YouTube cooperates with proper upload and processing times, should be up by the evening, 6 p.m., 7 p.m., my local time. So that's generally my schedule. That sort of stuff is involved. Hard to be a little bit too specific, because things change on a daily basis. Weekends are a little bit more difficult, because then family and other people are off from their Monday through Friday job, so that's when they expect to be included in whatever sort of plans. So it's difficult for me, as much as I'd like to continue working over the weekend, and I mostly sometimes do, difficult for me to get progress done. Hey! Over the weekend. But yeah, that's kind of my daily schedule, I guess you could say. I know that was kind of I didn't answer too much of that question, but I've talked about that many, many times before, so try to keep things fresh, like a fresh brewed cup of coffee. Here on Far Lands or Bust. But yeah, this wraps up episode 208 of the aforementioned Far Lands or Bust. We have enough supplies to make the required 3 beds. Let's make another boat as well. And take down the workbench, and remind everybody to go to farlandsorbust.com to contribute to Child's Play charity. I appreciate it. Other ways you can support Child's Play charity through Far Lands or Bust is checking out Schism's children's book, Meet Charlie. Perhaps purchase it on the iStore, the App Store, the Apple Store, whatever it's called. Support that, support Schism. Friends of Far Lands or Bust, indeed. So I appreciate all of that generosity all around. Indeed. I said indeed like 3 times in the last 30 seconds. Indeed. So, thank you so much for watching this video, for liking, for commenting, for subscribing to see more. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time.